One of the main reasons we love superhero movies is because of the fight scenes. Yeah, we love the characters and we love the stories that they tell, but honestly, we love when they fight each other. That's one of the main reasons why we all go to superhero movies. And with James Gunn and his new rebooted DC universe, and with a bunch of characters coming back, new and old, I thought it would be a good idea to make a video about what fights we need to see in the DCU. These are going to be fights that we've never seen before, and these are going to be fights that we've seen before that I think that didn't get the chance to shine, whether that be because of poor writing and overall poor execution. If you do like this type of content, I upload weekly, so be sure to like and subscribe for more. And let me know your thoughts. What DC fights do you want to see in the DCU? Kicking off our list, we have Batman vs Deathstroke. The fact that this hasn't happened in live action is criminal. You have Batman, the greatest detective of all time, and he's probably one of the best hand-to-hand martial artists in the DC universe, versus Deathstroke, a character that hasn't made a big impact on live action yet. I know he was in the end of Justice League, but I don't count that. Ever since I played Batman Arkham Origins, I always want to see these two fight, because you're not going to tell me that that trailer didn't have you gassed. The first time I saw that trailer, it opened my eyes to what a Batman vs Deathstroke fight could have. If we're going to get this fight in the DCU, we need perfect choreography. I want this fight to be on the same level that Captain America was fighting the Winter Soldier at on the highway. Honestly, it should be better than that fight, because when you take into account that Batman has his gadgets and Deathstroke has his blades and his guns, it should honestly be one of the best fight scenes we've ever gotten in a DC movie. I know in the cancelled Ben Affleck solo movie, he was planned to fight Deathstroke. I'm like, damn. Could you imagine Ben Affleck Batman fighting a DC EU Deathstroke? It would have been legendary. It also brings in a complaint that I've been saying for a long time when it comes to Batman in live action. Besides Ben Affleck, we've never gotten a true martial arts Batman who can actually throw hands and he's doing kicks and he's doing backflips. I want that in the DCU, because Christian Bale doing whatever martial arts he was doing in those Christopher Nolan movies, it was not it. We need something better than that. Justice League vs the Legion of Doom. This is a fight I've been wanting, I think we've all been wanting to see for a very long time. The reason why I think this would be such a cool fight is because we've never seen in live action a superhero team go up against a supervillain team. It hasn't happened in a Marvel and it hasn't happened in DC yet. So I think it'd be cool, instead of fighting Darkseid, which don't get me wrong, I do want Darkseid eventually, but I think if the first Justice League villains were the Legion of Doom, where each member of the Justice League fights their own counterpart, I think that would be legendary. Now, I don't know how many members they should have. It kind of depends on the Justice League members, but just for base note, I think they should have Lex Luthor, Sinestro, Joker, Gorilla Grodd, or Captain Cold, Black Manta, Bane, Cheetah, and a few others that I can't really mention right now. But overall, I think it would just be a cool fight scene just to have them all facing different villains. And they don't have to put them against their own villain. Like, you shouldn't have to put Batman against Bane. You could have Sinestro go against Wonder Woman. It should really be a free-for-all. And I think that's what makes the fight interesting. Another reason why it would be cool to see is because we've never seen villains interact on a team before, and we make for unique interactions. For example, could you imagine Joker busting jokes with Lex Luthor, and Lex Luthor's not, he's only there because he's an insane clown. And again, you could get really creative with how they fight each other and how the Justice League are using their powers to fight the Legion of Doom. Flash vs Reverse Flash is a fight that needs to happen. One of the things that you'll notice about my list is that a lot of these fights we've never seen in live action, and we've never seen a speedster versus another speedster on the big screen that's done good. This fight should honestly encapsulate what a speedster is able to do. In my opinion, I don't want to see no slow motion in this fight. It should really be like McCurry in the Eternals, where she doesn't slow down. We don't get a slowed down version of her. She's just always going. I would like to see a Flash versus Reverse Flash at full speed. I don't know if they're going to choose Barry Allen or Wally West for their main Flash. It doesn't really matter either way. It'd just be cool to see how fast they can move. And I don't think in superhero movies we've seen the limit of how fast a speedster can move. If you guys have played Injustice 2 and you've seen in Flash vs Reverse Flash, you know what I'm talking about, how fast I want these characters to move. I haven't seen the Flash movie and I don't plan to, because I've heard that it's terrible. But the clips that I've seen, it really doesn't look that interesting of a movie to watch. And I feel like it's because they haven't really leaned into the Flash's rogues gallery. If you know anything about Reverse Flash, then you know he's a top tier hater when it comes to Barry Allen or Wally West.
It was me, Barry. I jerked you off at super speed so it'd seem like you nutted at just a woman's touch.
He despises this man, so I think it'd be cool to see that dynamic in live action, and I want it all. I want Reverse Flash to go back in time and bully Kid Barry Allen. Lex Luthor vs Superman, specifically Lex Luthor with his battle armor. Now I'm pretty sure we're already going to get this in Man of Tomorrow. If you've seen the art, then you already know Lex is wearing his battle armor in all of them. But in this fight, we really should see how formidable Lex is, not just with his brain, but when it comes to physicality and being able to use his brain in making kryptonite weapons. And again, it would be interesting because we've never seen this done in live action. We've got about 4 versions of Lex Luthor on the big screen, and none of them have ever put on a battle armor suit. Now, I don't really mind back in the day because they didn't have CGI and they couldn't do it. I feel like now that we have the opportunity and everyone loves Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, I think now is the perfect time to put him in that green suit. It'll also show Superman fighting in a different way. If Lex Luthor's using kryptonite on Superman, he can't just punch his way out of it, he has to think outside of the box. And I think that's the main reason why I want to see this fight, is because it flips the two characters upside down. You have Superman, instead of fighting with his brawn, he's using his brain. And instead of Lex Luthor using his brain, he invents a whole suit to fight Superman, so he uses his brawn. It's just a cool dynamic that we've never seen in live action that we really need to see. And I can't wait for James Gunn to depict how Lex Luthor uses his battle suit. Wonder Woman vs Giganta. Now, I'm not too familiar with Wonder Woman villains. Like I said, I only know Cheetah, Ares, and that's it really. But when I did find out who Giganta was, I was very curious to see her fight Wonder Woman. I feel like Wonder Woman gets disrespected sometimes. I don't feel people really put the respect on her name. Giganta, her fighting Giganta would be so cool. Because the thing about Giganta vs Wonder Woman is that you're putting Wonder Woman against a big, tall, something from Attack on Titan to test her physicality. Besides Black Adam, we've never had like a small character or an average sized character versus a giant sized character. We've had it in Black Adam and we've had it in Civil War where Ant-Man grew big, but I think James Gunn could bring it to another level. I think you could have Wonder Woman really show how strong she is, and it would also do favours for Wonder Woman's rogues gallery. The general public doesn't really know that much about Wonder Woman's rogues gallery, and I think whenever Wonder Woman gets her own movie, I think making Giganta a core enemy of Wonder Woman would be so good. It'll make general audience more interested in her rogues gallery. Even though I do want to see Cheetah vs Wonder Woman, I think Wonder Woman vs Giganta would bring something new to the big screen that we've never seen before. And to be honest with you, I'm for Wonder Woman fighting anyone. I'm a huge Wonder Woman glazer. I'm sorry, she's too good. Like, you could have her fight anyone and I'll be entertained. We need a redo on Batman vs Superman, simply because the one that we got from Zack Snyder, it didn't hit the mark in my opinion. I feel like that movie missed the point of what Batman vs Superman is meant to be about in terms of them actually fighting. In that movie, they don't really fight. They fight, but they don't really like go all in. It's cut short because they need to make this fake Doomsday fight Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman, when in reality I think the whole movie should have just been about Batman fighting Superman. If we are going to see Batman vs Superman again, I would really like it to be heavily inspired by The Dark Knight Returns, where in that movie Batman is really going all out. Like, the moment I love in that animated movie is when Batman grabs a wrecking ball and beats the crap out of Superman with it. That's the type of fight we need in the DCU when it comes to Batman vs Superman. And if you get someone who can actually write believable dialogue between both of them and not whatever this is.
Why did you say that name? Shut your bitch ass up!
I think the Batman vs Superman fight is something that we can all look forward to, and it's something that we all need. But anyway, speaking of Batman vs Superman, there's another character in that movie that needs to be redone again. We need to see Doomsday vs Superman done right this time. It's kind of amazing how Batman vs Superman, that movie messed up 2 iconic fights in all of comics in one movie. When I think about Superman vs Doomsday, I think about an unstoppable force that meets an unstoppable force, and it should represent that in live action, but it never did. What makes Doomsday such a great villain is that only Superman is in his ball range. Only Superman can take him on. But for some reason in Batman vs Superman, Wonder Woman is able to take him on with his sword. Batman's throwing kryptonite gas at Doomsday. It just makes Superman's death feel pointless, when in reality Wonder Woman could have killed that Doomsday in that movie. But Doomsday in the comics and the death of Superman, that Doomsday is wrecking the whole Justice League. He goes through Wonder Woman, he goes through Aquaman, the whole Batman, he goes through all of the Justice League, and it's up to Superman to stop Doomsday before he kills everyone. And Superman has to go all out. He's throwing haymakers, he's boxing, man. And if it was up to me, I would lean more into the comic accurate design. I'm so mad in that movie they made Doomsday look like a toad, they make him look like a Ninja Turtle. If we are going to get Doomsday in the DCU, he should have the long protruding spikes from his face, from his head, from his shoulders, from his arms. He shouldn't look like a gummy worm. He should look threatening, he should look menacing. But I'm going to be honest with you, the chances of us seeing a live action Doomsday anytime soon is very low. I mean, we just got introduced to our new Superman, and I can't really see him right now fighting a Doomsday. This Superman's very new to being Superman. He hasn't even fought Lex Luthor in his battle armor, so I doubt we'll actually see Doomsday in the DCU anytime soon, but I can hope. Next on our list, we have the Green Lantern Corps versus all the other Lanterns. I'm a huge fan of Green Lantern in general. I like the concept of his will is his superpower. I'm a huge fan of all the other Lanterns. If I had to pick up my favourite Lantern Corps, it'd probably be Anger. I love Atrocitus. I love Dexter. Those two are my favourite, probably Lanterns. So I think it would be very cool to see all the Green Lanterns and the Blue Lanterns fighting against the Red Lanterns, the Yellow Lanterns, and just have an all-out Lantern war. Now recently the Green Lantern teaser trailer has been released, and the suit looks, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like it, but I'm waiting for the show to come out to make my final judgments. And if it's gonna keep this realistic tone, I don't think we're ever gonna get it in the DCU, which is a shame, because Green Lantern should be out in space. They should be dealing with, they're basically cops in space. That's what the Green Lanterns are. And if they're not going to be in space and they're just going to stay on Earth the whole time, I really doubt that we're going to have a whole Lantern war. Not only is it just a cool concept to have all of these emotions on the spectrum fight each other, but could you imagine how creative you could get with this fight? I'm talking about, you could have the Yellow Lanterns using their fear, you could have the Red Lanterns using their anger, you could have the Blue Lanterns using their hope to boost the Green Lanterns. You could get very creative with just all of them fighting each other, and that's something that we need. Initially I was just gonna put this as Hal Jordan versus Sinestro, but I think they can go bigger. I think they can go greater than just Sinestro versus Hal Jordan. I really think with that we need a whole Lantern war. I hope we get it, because a lot of the mainstream's perception on Green Lantern is that he's just a joke because of the Ryan Reynolds movie. And I think to re-establish the Green Lanterns as a prominent figure of DC, you have this be a major fight that happens. Doesn't have to happen straight away, but somewhere down the line it would be cool if we get an all-out Lantern war. Now this one that we need is a must that needs to happen, and it's Shazam vs Black Adam. It's kind of crazy how both of these two had movies and they never interacted, not once, because The Rock didn't care for Shazam. He didn't care for his character. He only wanted to fight Henry Cavill's Superman, to the point where it doesn't even make sense. Like, yes, Black Adam and Superman have fought in the past, but that's not his arch nemesis. That's Shazam. It's like the Joker having to fight Superman. It's like they've probably fought in the past, but that's not who his main target is, you know what I mean? Like, but this is a fight that we need. If we do end up getting Shazam in the main DCU, this Shazam needs to be more consistent with his character throughout the movie. I think one of the main reasons why the Shazam movies kind of feel mediocre is because the character of Shazam doesn't have a consistent tone throughout the movies. For example, when Billy is like a kid, he should be silly and he should be playful and he should be wanting to go out for an adventure, and he should stay like that when he turns into Shazam. But for some reason in the Shazam movies, when Billy's a kid, he's serious, he doesn't joke, and then when he turns into Shazam, he's goofy, he's not taking anything serious, he's unfunny, it's very confusing on why that movie chose to characterize Shazam that way instead of how he normally is characterized. And as for Black Adam, I wouldn't mind if Dwayne Johnson came back to play Black Adam, but let's be honest, it's not gonna happen. He's probably not interested in playing Black Adam for a number of reasons, probably because he's too old and he's just not interested in the character anymore. I just think that this fight would be very cool, and if you want to add a bonus, you could just add Superman in and have Shazam and Superman fight Black Adam, like that animated movie. I think that this would be super cool to see, because you could also have it be an inspiring lesson for Shazam. Shazam looks up to Superman for inspiration, because you have to remember Shazam's a kid and Superman gives Shazam words of inspiration to keep on going, to keep fighting, and that you have to believe in a better tomorrow. That's something that I want to see. And if by the end you can have Superman, Shazam and Black Adam fighting each other, that's something that would be cool to see. I might end up making a part 2 to this video, I'm not sure, because there's definitely more fights I would like to see, or I might end up making a Marvel version, I don't know. But let me know what you guys think. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok, I post content there daily. Subscribe for more, and I hope you have a good day. Thanks for watching.